The day before my wedding, I went to our cathedral early to get familiar with the place. Instead, I found my fiancé and my stepsister, Isabella. I collapsed in the pouring rain. That's when he found me, Alistair, the vampire prince. He moved like a god through the storm. He pulled me from the mud and gave me a palace. He told the world I was his soulmate, the one he'd spent centuries searching for. His one and only for 5 years. His devotion made me the envy of the supernatural world. I thought I was the one exception in his eternal life. Until I found his secret room. My fingers brushed against an ancient scroll. The script was written in blood. The first line was her name, Isabella. Beneath it, in Alistair's own hand, absolute priority, above all else. Underneath was a healer's log I'd never seen before, a vampire's healing log. The date was from the night I found out I was pregnant, the night I was attacked by werewolves. The healers never came for me. I woke up alone. The baby was gone. Our child. His blood, my blood gone. And my clothes were soaked in what was left of it. Home, I broke down in his arms. I never told him. I couldn't bear for him to feel the pain I felt. Now I understood. That same night, Isabella was also being attacked by werewolf. My heart stopped.
If I was never the one, then you can keep your eternity. I want no part of it.
I determined to choose the cruelest way to leave him. Then I slipped the goddamn scroll back where I found it, deep in his secret chamber. I fought back the pain, the tears threatening to spill. I went back to our room. Alistair would be home soon. He always read my emotions with terrifying accuracy. I couldn't let him know a thing. Sure enough, just as I stepped out of the shower, a familiar dark shadow materialized behind me. A pair of long, strong arms pulled me into embrace. Alistair's lips groosed over the side of my neck.
Baby, you're quiet. What's wrong?
I didn't melt into his hold like I always did. Nothing, just thinking about my art exhibition.
Don't worry, it will be perfect.
He stroked my hair. His voice was velvet laced with poison.
It's your night.
Tears burned behind my eyes.
Sure
I refused to let them fall. Such a caring husband, such a perfect lie. For 5 years, he had spoiled me like this. Only tonight did I understand. All of it. The public displays, the grand gestures was just a performance, a smoke shield to hide the one he truly protected. Alistair's gaze on me grew hot, possessive, as his kisses trailed lower. He entered me, devoted to my pleasure. His words sent my heart crashing back to earth.
Oh, about your exhibition.
He thrust deeper, kissing me hard.
I gave her a key.
And in that moment of supposed intimacy, he shattered everything, a key to the warded studio. That was where I kept all my unfinished and private works, including my masterpiece, First Light, in an endless night. Only 2 keys to that ward existed in the entire world. One for me, one for him. And he had just given his to Isabella.
Alistair, you know what those paintings mean to me.
I know, my love, but she's your sister. Doesn't her happiness make you happy? She's just observing, don't overthink it. Besides, I have a special birthday surprise for you.
My birthday? It was the day after tomorrow. What surprise?
A field of silver moon flowers. I planted an entire field for you in the castle's back garden. They release the most beautiful light crystals under the moonlight.
My blood turned to ice. Silver moon flowers, the same flowers I'm deathly allergic to, the same flowers that happen to be Isabella's favorite.
You're sure they're for me?
Of course. Haven't you always admired their beauty?
Admired? The first time I touched one, I broke out in a full-body rash and could barely breathe. He had summoned every elder, his eyes red with panic. He was ready to offer his own heart's blood to save me. How could he not remember? Unless, what if this gift was never for me at all? The thought was a lightning strike, connecting everything. The scroll, Isabella's name, and the one detail I've missed. Silver moon flowers were her favorite. When we were finished, he pulled out of me.
Get some rest, my love.
He brushed a kiss across my lips before heading to the bathroom. That's when it happened. A small, exquisite crystal valse slipped from his silk robe, landing without a sound on the thick carpet. On pure instinct, I picked it up. Inside was a pigment that shimmered like stardust, a color I had never seen before, but I recognized it. Stardust of eternal night. The name Isabella had gloated.
Ever seen a color so unique, sister? My secret admirer says it's one of a kind.
impossible to replicate. I had pretended to scoff, but a part of me, the artist, had marveled at its beauty. I had coveted it, and now I knew her secret of Namur was my husband. I placed the vassal back on the floor where it fell, as if it were a piece of filth. Then I slipped back into bed, silent. I could feel the blood turning to ice in my veins, inch by inch. I closed my eyes, but I was wide awake until the dead of night, silently counting down the hours. My birthday was in 2 days, and I would give Alistair a gift of my own. I would disappear from his eternal life. Forever. The next evening was the opening gala for my art exhibition. I walked into the grand ballroom on Aliston's arm, the perfect picture of the devoted artist and her patron prince. Tonight was supposed to be my night. The hall of the various estate was dazzling, filled with the city's elite and supernatural dignitaries, all gathered to celebrate my artistic achievement.
Madam Serafina, your work is simply breathtaking.
Congratulations. This exhibition is without a doubt the art event of the year.
I smiled and accepted their praise. But then I saw her. And there she was, Isabella, standing beside a massive, cloth-draped easel, smiling like she owned the damn place. As the evening reached its peak, the host invited me to the stage to give a speech. Just as I was about to speak, Isabella stepped forward, taking the microphone before I could.
Thank you all for coming to my sister's exhibition tonight. But tonight, I have a surprise of my own. A debut as a new artist.
She pulled away the cloth behind her. A gasp swept through the crowd. It was drowned out by the sudden silence where my heart used to be. It was first light in an endless night. My soul on canvas. The story of being pulled from one darkness, only to be thrown into another, deeper one. But now, in the bottom right corner, the signature read, Isabella.
The core concept of this piece...
Isabella drolled on, explaining the painting to the crowd. She was twisting my soul, my pain, into some cheap, motivational bullshit. Ice shot through my veins. I snapped my head toward Alistair. I saw it, a flicker of grit in his eyes, gone as quickly as it came.
Serafina, my dear sister, thank you for all your inspiration. This painting wouldn't exist without you, and so I dedicate it to you.
The entire room's attention was on her. Praise poured in, with people proclaiming that her artistic talent would far surpass my own. Isabella glided down from the stage. She stopped right in front of us.
Sister, you don't look happy. Are you jealous?
She whispered, her voice low enough for only the three of us to hear. I stared at her, speechless. Before I could respond, suddenly, a piercing scream ripped from her throat.
Isabella!
She crumpled to the floor, a trembling, sobbing mess. In a blur of motion, he was at Isabella's side, scooping her into his arms.
A psychic attack!
Every eye in the room locked onto me. It wasn't me, I said, my voice desperate.
Serafina, enough!
Alistair's voice cracked like a whip. He didn't even look at me. A golden healing light poured from his palm. And I, his wife, stood there at what was supposed to be my celebration, surrounded by looks of suspicion and condemnation.
Thank God, she's all right.
Alistair let out a breath of relief.
Enough, Serafina. I taught you magic, and this is what you use it for? To harm your innocent sister? Whatever this is, we'll discuss it back at the castle.
He wasn't just accusing me, he was silencing me, publicly.
Alistair, that painting. You said she wouldn't steal from me.
He followed my finger, his gaze flickering away, unable to meet my eyes. After a few seconds, he looked back at me, his voice harny.
You inspired her. She interpreted your light in her own way. Isn't that a form of legacy? Artistic inspiration is shared. Why would you use such a filthy word as steal to describe your only sister?
Has this fame make you so cruel, so possessive? This isn't the woman I fell in love with.
In that moment, my world shattered. He knew the truth, but to protect Isabella, he chose to trample on me with the most ridiculous lie. A knot of pain twisted in my stomach. Tears slid down my cheeks, but I kept the smile plastered on my face. Alliston saw it, and for the first time, a flicker of panic crossed his features. He handed Isabella to a healer who had rushed over and took a step toward me.
Serafina, calm down.
I wiped a single tear from my cheek. My voice was dead flat. I am calm. I have never been calmer.
All right, let's go home. I can forgive everything that happened tonight. I don't want anything to spoil your night.
Alistair reached for my hand. No. I'm not going back to the castle. I looked him dead in the eye, my voice so quiet it scared even me. Tomorrow is my birthday. I want to go to the cathedral, the one where we first met, just the two of us. I said, my voice eerily calm. The drive from the city to the cathedral took an hour. The silence in the car was suffocating. I sat in the passenger seat, staring out at the blurred city lights. My fingers traced the healed scar on my stomach. Alliston's hand covered mine. His palm was ice cold, but his voice was perfectly warm.
All right, let's put tonight behind us. I've already put the finest elven chefs on standby. Whatever delicacy you desire for your birthday feast, I'll have it made for you.
He paused, his crimson eyes softening. He murmured, his thumb stroking the back of my hand.
And you've been so fragile lately. Maybe it's time we talked about a child, about making you eternal. Truly mine.
Pregnant? I choked back a sob, my eyes burning. My heart felt like it was being ripped in two.
I'm back. Darling, I have an emergency and have to leave now.
This prince, with his legendary perception, he never noticed. He never sensed I was pregnant. He never sensed I lost our child. A child he destroyed with his own hands. Just as the car turned onto the winding mountain road to the cathedral, Alistair's phone blared to life. He glanced at the screen. All the color drained from his face.
Sorry.
He said, answering the call.
What? Now?
I heard a rushed voice on the other end.
You saving the flare, Philly.
Understood. I'm on my way back.
He hung up and turned to me, his eyes a storm of apology and pain.
Serafina, a rival clan is making trouble. It's an emergency. I have to go back and handle it.
There it was again, the exact same excuse as that night. Go. Your duties come first, I said calmly.
Serafina,
He flinched, as if my calmness was a slap. It's all right. I'll wait for you in the cathedral. You promised you'd be here for my birthday. I even managed to smile. He stopped the car at the cathedral gates, kissed my forehead with a reluctance that felt like an act. And then spun the car around, watching his car disappear into the night. I slowly walked into the magnificent Gothic cathedral. Moonlight streamed through the massive stained glass windows, casting a kaleidoscope of colors on the floor, just like the night we met. The irony was suffocating. Both times I'd come here, I was in agony. In the dead silence of the church, the chime of a social media notification was deafening. I looked down. Isabella had a new post. It was a photo of her, looking weak and frail, nestled in a man's arms. His face was deliberately out of frame, but the tattoo visible on his neck made my heart stop. An ancient vampire signet, identical to the one on my own wrist, our matching tattoo. The caption read, "So lucky my guardian angel is always there I need him most." I let out a cold laugh and dialed Alliston's number. The voice that answered wasn't his.
Alistair's a little busy right now. He's comforting me after my ordeal. Are you wondering about that urgent business on the night you lost your little bastard? Let me tell you, I took a silver lace dagger, gave myself a tiny scratch, and just like that, he sent the head healer, the one who was supposed to be saving you and your Mongol, to my side instead. Did you really think you could ever compete with me?
I dropped the phone, my hand trembling. The tears finally came, hot and unstoppable. 5 years of marriage, built on one lie after another. My child, my art, my love, just like the first betrayal I'd walked in on before my wedding. I waited all night. I waited until the moonlight faded, until the first rays of dawn were about to break the darkness. Alistair never came back. You may return to the castle.
Madam, the prince ordered us to protect you.
You can go. He promised he would come back for me. I want to wait for him alone. Slowly towards the altar, the place where the holy light was strongest. All his beautiful vows, his tender embraces, a gorgeous, poisoned dream. How ridiculous they seemed now, compared to the words on that scroll. Absolute priority, above all else. I called his number one last time. The call was cut off before it could even ring. I stared at the dark crystal screen, then placed 3 things upon the altar. A copy of the blood scroll, proof of his priority, the hidden miscarriage report I'd never shown him, proof of how his neglect killed our child, and the recording crystal of my call with Isabella, proof of the entire twisted truth. With that done, I spread my arms wide, bathing in the holy light that cut through the darkness. I confess that I fell in love with a lie. I confess all the hope I held because of him, a hope that should never have existed. I confess this soul that he has tainted. In a shadowed corner, a young monk cleaning the pools stared, his eyes wide with terror. When the light faded, all that remained were a few glittering motes of golden dust, drifting in the air, as if she had never been there at all. Meanwhile, Alistair was just about to leave Isabella's residence.
My prince.
His clan elder, Victor, materialized in a swirl of shadow, his face a mask of pure terror.
It's a catastrophe. The madam, she took her own life on the altar of the old cathedral. She said she was repenting for her sins, for failing to keep her husband. And then the holy light, it just consumed her. She's gone. There's nothing left but dust.
What did you just say?
Your Highness, my lady, she was consumed by the light on the church altar.
There was nothing left but golden dust. A mortal acolyte found her engagement ring on the altar, the one you gave her.
Impossible. She would never kill herself. She was alone in the church. Why did no one tell me? Where were her attendants?
The old vampire swallowed hard, trembling.
My prince, she sent the attendants away. Your phone was off. I tried to reach you through ascending, but the link was shielded.
It was dark, lifeless. His head snapped toward Isabella. His gaze was a blade of ice.
You severed my sending?
Isabella flinched under his gaze. She rushed to explain.
Alistair, why would I do something like that? Maybe you hit it by accident.
She feigned perfect innocence as if she had no idea. Alistair didn't spare her another glance. He vanished on the spot. He moved in a blur, reappearing inside the Gothic church. Her last words echoed in his mind. I'll be waiting for you in the church. An unspeakable terror seized his chest. How had he, so sensitive to emotion, not noticed? Her eyes, they held an emptiness he had failed to see. Inside the ancient church, morning light streamed through the stained glass windows, painting the stone floor. Everything was so quiet, so holy, as if nothing had happened, but Alistair knew everything had changed. He walked toward the altar, his steps heavy, and 3 items, placed neatly in the center of the altar. Alistair fell to his knees. His hand trembled as he reached out. The first was a folded piece of parchment. He opened it. It was a medical report. Written in the old Bloodkin script, it read, 8 weeks pregnant. Fetal spirit dissipated due to delayed protection. The night he got the call that Isabella was hurt. Because of that damned life bond, all of Isabella's fatal injuries would be reflected back onto him. So he had immediately sent all the healers to her side. He never knew. He never knew Seraphona had been attacked that same night, that she was carrying their child. His fingers traced the words.
No.
Each letter burned into his soul like a band.
God, I didn't know.
How could this be? They had a child, and because of his order, because of that damn delay, it was gone. The second was a copy of a scroll from his private vault. It clearly stated his directive concerning Isabella, absolute priority, above all else. She had known all along, but she didn't know the truth. Did she think he was just like her disgusting former fiancé? He could barely breathe. Clinging to a sliver of desperate hope, he activated the recording crystal.
I just nicked my hand with a silver lace dagger and cried to him that I'd been attacked by werewolves. And just like that, he sent the head healer, the one who was supposed to save you and that little bastard, straight to my side.
For such a pathetic prank, he had traded the life of the child in his own wife's womb. Alistair roared, his eyes turned blood red, his fangs extended fully. A terrifying, murderous aura poured from him. The stained glass windows began to crack.
I'll kill her! I'm going to kill her! I'll make Isabella beg for a death that will never come!
But then, a deeper agony hit him. What good would killing Isabella do? The life bond tied them together. Her death would be his. Would it bring Seraphina back? Would it bring back their child? No, nothing could bring them back. He knelt before the golden dust, watching it fade in the morning light, as if it would vanish completely at any moment. Just then, Victor materialized in the church with a retinue of elders.
Your Highness, we found her communication crystal.
Alistair snatched it. He tried a few passwords and realized it was the day they met. In the phone's recently deleted folder was a single video.
Alistair, this exhibition is my 5th anniversary gift to you. Most of the pieces were inspired by our story. I hoped it would bring a little light to your dark world.
The phone slipped from his hand, clattering to the floor.
Find her. Use every resource we have. Find her soul.
Victor trembled.
My prince. She was purified by holy light. Her soul may already be—
I don't care!
If her soul is shattered into 1,000,000 pieces, I will gather every last one and forge her anew! Find her soul, or prepare for an eternity of punishment.
He turned to the terrified elders, his voice like ice. Mornings in Noctone City always carry a humid laziness. I stood at the window of the antique painting restoration shop, watching the city slowly wake up.
Phoebe, we have 3 18th century oil paintings that need work today.
I smiled and took the list. Marcus, the shop owner, handed me a list.
Your touch is getting more and more masterful.
Thank you. I love this work. Phoebe, my new name, my new life. A month ago, the purification by holy light was a carefully staged illusion. The altar's sacred power amplified the spell. The golden dust was a special compound created by a gifted alchemist I knew. It was enough to deceive even a prince's senses. And I, at the very moment the illusion took hold, used an invisibility spell to slip away and changed appearance. My new life was quiet, peaceful, filled with the scent of old canvas and oil paint. I walked to my workbench and began to examine a Baroque painting in need of repair. Suddenly, a soft chirp came from outside. A black raven, a messenger, was perched on the windowsill with a small roll tied to its leg. My heart beat a little faster. This was the contact method for the information broker I'd hired. I opened the window, took the roll, and gave the raven a piece of dried meat as a reward. Well done, little one. I unrolled the parchment. It was a report on the last month, written in code. Update on Alistair Valrius. The Covent is in turmoil. The prince drains the royal coffers searching for his dead wife's soul. The clans grow restless. I read on. 3 days of solitude. After receiving the relics, the prince locked himself in the old church for 3 full days. Witnesses claim his grief and rage awakened the dormant ancient blood within him. During this awakening, he discovered a shocking secret. I paused, focusing on the next line. The life bond Isabella Moray used to command the prince's protection has been exposed as a fraud. A dark magic gluer. No true bond ever existed. So that was it. No wonder she could always command his attention at the most critical moments. After the truth of the fake bond was exposed, the prince publicly revealed all of Isabella's crimes, including deliberately injuring herself to frame you, stealing your artwork, and forging the blood pact. Isabella has fled to escape justice and is still being hunted. The prince publicly revealed all of Isabella's crimes.
No, no!
The prince's current state is highly unstable. He refuses to handle any political matter. Focusing solely on finding traces of his wife's soul.
Hurry and find her!
The council fears his extreme grief will drive him into permanent madness. Further updates requested. Your loyal partner. I read the last line and placed the scroll on the table. I could imagine Alistair's pain, the despair I felt when I lost our child, the heartbreak when I discovered the truth, crushing emptiness when I waited all night in that church for a man who never came. Now, all of that was coming back to him, doubled, but I wouldn't feel sorry for him. I walked to the fireplace and tossed the scroll into the flames. The orange fire licked at the paper, consuming every last word of the past. Then I sent one last message to my broker and shattered the communication crystal. Then let him burn. 3 months later, I had completely settled into my life as Phoebe. Opened the shop at 7 in the morning, breathe new life into old paintings.
Good day, Phoebe. Good day, Miss Jones.
Good day, Phoebe.
A pleasant day, Mr. Wilson. Good day, Phoebe. Good day, Miss Rose.
Close up at 9 at night. Return to my small apartment upstairs to read, drink tea, and sleep in peace.
Phoebe, can you help me think of something?
Marcus stood behind the counter, staring glumly at the ledger.
Business is down again this month.
I put down my restoration brush and walked over.
What's wrong?
A new gallery opened down the street, all chrome and stark canvases. They're bleeding us dry. People want new and splashy, not old and timeless.
I looked at the dismal numbers in the ledger and felt a pang of sympathy. Marcus was a kind old man. He had taken me in without any papers, given me a job and a place to live. I couldn't just watch his shop fail. Maybe we could try something new, like showing that the process of restoration is an art in itself. A shattered vase, its cracks like dark veins, but from within the fractions, new life, delicate flowers, pushes through brokenness and rebirth, despair and hope. How long had it been? How long since I had created something freely for myself? He was in his early 30s, with brown hair, deep green eyes, and a well-tailored dark suit. But it was the look in his eyes as he stared at my drawing that caught my attention, full of awe and shock.
My God. I'm sorry to intrude. I'm Julian Blackwood. I come in here often, but I've never seen anything so heartbreaking, yet so full of hope.
His gaze never leaving the sketch.
Mr. Blackwood, welcome. This is our restorer, Phoebe.
Julian's eyes moved to me.
Mr. Phoebe, please forgive my forwardness. But I must say your talent is stunning.
I said quietly, trying to put the paper away. It's just a doodle.
No, this isn't a doodle, it's a soul breathing on paper.
His words made me freeze.
Look here, the break isn't an end. It's a new beginning. You've expressed the most complex emotions with the simplest lines. That kind of gift is priceless.
I glanced at Marcus, who looked just as surprised as I felt.
Mr. Blackwood isn't just any customer. He owns the Blackwood Gallery over in the Artisan Quarter.
Julian nodded.
The Blackwood Gallery. We specialize in art that creates a strong emotional connection. But honestly, we've hit a wall recently. The gallery is full of technically brilliant work, but we lack pieces that can truly touch the soul. Until today, when I saw this.
It's just a sketch on scrap paper,
I repeated.
The fact that it's on scrap paper makes it even more precious. There's no artifice, no pretense.
His voice full of passion.
Just pure, raw emotion.
He took an elegant business card from his jacket pocket.
Mrs. Phoebe, I am formally inviting you. I hope you will consider becoming a resident artist at the Blackwood Gallery.
My hand trembled as I took the card.
I'm just a restorer.
You are a buried genius. A talent like yours doesn't belong in the shadows.
Julian's voice was firm, powerful.
It shouldn't be wasted on scrap paper.
The next morning, another messenger raven. But this time I hadn't summoned it. I opened the window and took the scroll, puzzled. Attached to the bottom was a photograph, a final picture. Consider it a professional courtesy. In it, Alistair stood alone before the altar in the Gothic church. He looked desolate. His once straight back was slightly hunched. His sharp eyes were empty. He was staring at the spot on the altar where the golden dust had long since vanished. As if he were waiting for a miracle, waiting for the dead to stand before him again. I stared at the photo for a long time. I felt nothing. His pain was not my problem. I threw the photo into the fireplace and watched it turn to ash. Then I turned and picked up the card Julian had given me, the Blackwood Gallery. Perhaps it was time to live for myself.
Marcus, I need to take a few days off.
Of course. Are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm going to restart something. Something I put aside a long time ago.
3 hours later, I stood before the Blackwood Gallery.
It was a 3-story Victorian building, its walls covered in ivy. Through the huge plate glass windows, I could see paintings of all styles. Julian was talking with a client. His eyes lit up with surprise when he saw me.
Phoebe! You came! I thought you might hesitate longer.
I thought about it all night. You were right. Talent shouldn't be buried. Julian's smile was as bright as the sun.
Wonderful. Come, let me show you the studio.
He led me through the gallery to a spacious, light-filled room on the second floor.
A massive window faced north, flooding the room with natural light. Easels and paints of all kinds lined the walls.
This was my father's studio. He was a painter too. Before he died, he told me that true art isn't about technique. It's about expressing the soul.
I walked to the skylight, feeling the warm sun on my skin. I haven't painted for myself in a very long time.
Then start today. Paint everything you want to paint.
The cover of The Immortal Muse featured my latest painting, Rebirth. It was a phoenix rising from the ashes, its feathers still tipped with fire. I looked at the headline and smiled. Phoebe Miller, my brand new identity. An independent artist, recognized for my own talent and hard work.
Congratulations, Phoebe. The tickets for your solo exhibition are completely sold out.
We were putting the final touches on tomorrow's exhibition. Thank you for believing in me.
You're the one who proved your worth. Your work has given so many people hope again.
25 paintings, documenting my journey over the past 6 months. From broken to rebirth. From night to dawn. Each one was a piece of my soul.
Phoebe, there's someone here to see you. A woman. She says she's an old friend.
I frowned. An old friend? I didn't have any friends in Knockdurning City, especially not a female one.
Let her in.
The assistant nodded and left. A few minutes later, the door was thrown open. A haggard-looking woman burst in, clutching a copy of The Immortal Muse. My heart stopped.
Isabella.
She was a wreck. Her once flawless skin was sansor and rough. Her eyes were filled with a crazed hatred. The moment she saw me, a twisted smile spread across her face.
Serafina! You thought a new name and a new face could hide you? You thought you could just disappear?
Isabella, please. Leave. My voice was calm, without a ripple of emotion. Julian sensed the danger immediately. He stepped in front of me.
Ma'am, I don't know what your history is, but I must ask you not to cause a scene in my gallery.
History? She destroyed me! My status, my life, everything!
Her eyes gleamed with madness as she clutched the magazine.
Look at her now! A new face, a new name, living this glamorous life! Why should you get to be happy?
Isabella screamed, hysterical. Because I earned this. With my own 2 hands. Not with lies and betrayal. I replied, my voice cold as glass.
Talent? What good is your talent? Even Alistair, he's hunting me down. For you! You bitch! You think you've won?
Isabella, that's enough.
It's not enough! If I've lost everything, then you don't get a happy ending either!
She lunged at me. Julian moved without a second thought, shielding me with his body.
Get out of my way!
Just then, a black shadow materialized in the gallery doorway. Alistair. He was flanked by 2 vampire guards, looking weary from travel. He was thinner. The exhaustion and obsession in his eyes were instantly replaced by wild joy the moment he saw me.
Serafina. You're alive. You're alive.
Isabella turned. She saw that Alistan's eyes looked straight past her, filled only with a feverish obsession for me. Her sanity snapped.
Why? Why do you only ever see her?
Isabella, calm down.
Alistair said, trying to soothe her, but his gaze never left my face. Isabella suddenly pulled a gleaming silver dagger from her coat. The dagger was inscribed with anti-magic runes, glowing with a venomous light.
I won't calm down! If I can't have him, then I'll destroy what he wants!
She charged, aiming the blade straight in her heart.
Phoebe, look out!
Julian spun around. He took the blow for me, his back shielding me from the blade. The dagger plunged deep into his spine. His clothes were covered with blood.
Julian! Julian, stay with me.
Seize her. Take her before the Coven's judgment. She will answer for what she has done.
The guards subdued the struggling Isabella in an instant.
No, Alistair! You can't do this to me! I've loved you for so many years.
Love? Do you even know what love is? You murdered my only child. You destroyed my wife. And now you try to harm her again?
Alistair's voice was ice.
Take her away, and never let me see her again.
Isabella was dragged away, her screams fading into the distance. But I wasn't paying attention. In that moment, my world narrowed to one thing, the man bleeding out in my arms. Julian had been in the emergency room for 3 hours. I sat on a bench in the hallway, my hands clasped tightly, replaying the moment he fell. That gentle man, who had shielded me with his own body without a second of hesitation.
The surgery was a success. The blade missed his heart by less than an inch. He's lucky. He'll make a full recovery, but he needs rest.
I let out a long, shaky breath as tears streamed down my face.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Serafina.
The familiar voice came from behind me. I turned stiffly. Aliston was standing at the end of the hall, He looked like a ghost of himself, gone. His perfect face drawn and pale, his eyes a web of broken blood vessels. How did you know I was here?
I had someone follow the ambulance. I had to make sure you were safe.
You already did. You dealt with Isabella. Mission accomplished.
No. It wasn't a mission.
You what?
He fell to his knees, the vampire prince kneeling before a human woman. The nurses in the hallway stopped, staring at the scene in shock.
I was wrong. I was wrong about everything.
I didn't move. I just looked down at him, my expression cold.
It was a brand new start. You stole my
Seraphine, please, let me explain. The life bond, I thought it was real. I thought if Isabella was hurt, the backlash would kill me.
So that gave you the right to abandon your pregnant wife?
I didn't know you were pregnant. If I had known, I would have died to protect you both.
But you didn't know. And you chose Isabella.
Because I thought if I died, you would be left unprotected.
His voice grew smaller.
I wanted to live, to keep protecting you.
I listened silently to his excuses.
My original plan never changed. After you gave birth naturally, I was going to use my own bloodline to nurture you, to give you immortality without the pain of the embrace. We could have had countless children, loved each other for eternity.
Stop. It's too late, Aliston.
It's not! It's never too late! Give me a chance to make it right.
I laughed, a cold, sharp sound. Make it right?
How will you make up for our dead child? How will you make up for the 5 years of my life that I wasted?
He froze. The Seraphina who died in that church loved you. She died waiting for you. The woman standing before you now is Fabi. I have my own life, my own career, and someone I care for. I turned my head toward the emergency room door. Aliston's gaze followed mine. A look at her despair washed over his face.
Is it him? The man who took a blade for you?
I didn't answer. But my silence was the only answer he needed. Alistion slowly rose to his feet, a desolate figure.
I understand. I don't even have the right to protect you anymore. I'll deal with Isabella, and I'll eliminate any other threats that might come after you.
And then?
And then?
His shoulders trembled slightly.
I won't appear before you again. I won't disturb your life.
He vanished into the darkness at the end of the corridor without looking back. I was sitting in my office on the top floor of Blackwood Gallery, flipping through today's paper. I glanced at the headline. I felt nothing. Isabella Moran was found dead in her cell yesterday, apparently killed by other vampire prisoners. And Aliston Valerius took on a new position. He is now an arbitrator of the Curtain Council and is committed to maintaining peace between humans and vampires. I set the paper aside. Just then, Julian knocked on the door and came in.
Phoebe, the Sovereign Times wants to do a feature on your new series, Light and Shadow.
In the past year, my career had exploded. My Light and Shadow series was exhibited at the Eternal Gallery in Valois, hailed as the most soul-stroking art of the 21st century. Julian's wound had long since healed, but our relationship had subtly shifted in that moment. He was no longer just my partner. He was the person I wanted to protect. I looked into his sincere eyes, a sense of peace washing over me that I had never felt before. We held hands and walked to the window together, looking out at the city. What I want now is right here.